Ma'am Erna. Is Ma'am Erna still here?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm having
Yes, yes.
quite trouble with sharing my screen.
Mhm.
Am I allowed to share
Uh,
my screen?
Wait, mom.
I cannot
Mhm.
see.
But you're ready to be the co-host. So actually, you have to. Yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay, I'll
You are the
check if I
co-host, mom.
can
How
make.
many devices that you have for this meeting? One only, right?
Ma'am, I'm
You have
sorry,
one
ma'am.
only device. Yeah, you have one only device, right?
Yeah, I've only one device here.
Then you are now the co-host. So that means you can share the screen.
Yeah, wait first, mama. Here, I got it, ma'am. Maybe it
Yeah.
was just because of
Okay.
my connection. So sorry. I
It's
was
okay.
reading here actually. That is why.
Okay, so you can try it now.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Ma'am Erna. Okay,
Welcome
ma'am.
to LB.
O-
Happy teaching.
Okay, can you see it now, class? Our, can you see my screen already?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, shall we start? Before I will start, I think I just need to ask some of your new classmates because others are new here. Um, since I was still looking at the pages that we are about to proceed into, can I hear from Kushi? Can you introduce your name to us? Is Hushi here? Or did I pronounce it wrong? Or shall we have Johansson? Yes, Johansson, can you introduce yourself? Can you still hear me or you cannot hear me clear? Natalia,
Yes, ma'am.
you can hear me? Is my audio
Yeah, I
clear?
can hear you very clearly.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was just asking because Johansson might not hear me. But anyway, I guess everybody is ready since you already know your classmate well, I think so. Well, then I'll just proceed to maximize our time. We'll just go back to the ACT signs here. So this. Okay, I think this is just too big. You need to make it more smaller. Maybe 120. Okay, let's have this. Okay, so for today, the ACT Science, let's start with the passage number 2. And I would like Natalia to read the passage. Please, Natalia, can you read the passage here?
Okay, ma'am. When certain substances are added to diet cola, Carbon dioxide gas is produced, generating a foam. Two experiments were done to study this process. In each trial, an apparatus like that shown in Figure 1 was used as follows. A jar was nearly filled with what H2O and
Yes, that's
fitted with a
water.
two-hole lid. One end of a tube, tube B, was inserted through one of the holes and submerged. The other end of tube B was placed in an empty graduated cylinder. Another tube, tube A, was inserted through the other hole in the lid. A certain solid substance was inserted into the other end of tube A, and the substance was secured by a clamp. Tube A was then attached to a freshly opened bottle containing 355 milliliters of Diet Cola. The clamp was removed, releasing the substance into the Diet Cola. The foam that was produced traveled into the jar, and liquid was transferred into the cylinder. The mass of carbon dioxide produced was calculated based on the volume of liquid that was measured in the cylinder after foaming had ceased.
Thank you very much, Natalia. So that was our passage. And as you can see here, we have here the figure 1, where it is being illustrated where one in experiment 2. Now, each of the trial 1 to 4 and experiment 1, different one of 4 substances of equal mass. For the trial number 1, we have a piece of chalk, sugar cube, fruit flavor piece of candy, or mint flavor piece of candy was added to a bottle of Diet Cola at 3 degrees Celsius. So this is the temperature that is added to the 4 trials. So as we can see here in table one, there are 4 columns. The first columns are the number of trials. So we have here 1 to 4 trials. Seconds is the substance of each trial. So as you can see, we have for the trial number 1, we have the chalk. For number 2, sugar cube. Third is the fruit candy. Fourth is the mint candy. And the third column is the volume of liquid in a cylinder, and it is in ml. We have here for the chalk 699, sugar cube 570, fruit candy 525, mint candy 631. And for the mass of carbon dioxide produced, which is in grams, we have here 1.36 produced by chalk, 1.11 grams produced by the sugar cube, 1.02 for the fruit candy, and 1.23 for the mint candy. So that is for the experiment number 1. And we have here the next experiment. You need to take a look at close to it so that you can answer the following questions, because those questions will be based mainly about the table and as well as the passage. Okay, for experiment number 2, in each trial, 5 to 8. So as you can see, we have here 5 to 8. 4 from experiment 1 was repeated. So it says that 4 from experiment 1 was repeated, except that the temperature of the Diet Cola was different in each trial. So meaning each substances is just being repeated, yet the temperature is different from the first experiment. Okay, now shall we proceed to the questions? Let's have the question. It's number 8. So can I call Johansson to read the question number 8? Johansson?
Yes, ma'am. Uh, Number 8. If another trial had been performed in experiment 2 and for 350 ml of liquid had been measured in the cylinder, The temperature of the diet cola in this trial would most likely have been
Okay, thank you, Johansen. So we have here the choices. Less than 25 degrees Celsius. Uh, G is between 25 degrees Celsius and 45 degrees Celsius. H is between 45 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius. And J is greater than 60 degrees Celsius. So the question is, if another trial had been performed in experiment 2 and 450 ml of liquid has been measured in the cylinder, the temperature of the Diet Cola in this trial would most likely have been. Okay, so what would be your answer? Rinaldi, or Renald? Renald, what would be your answer to the question? Okay, Angela's laptop is lagging. I see. Renald? Yes, Renald, what is your answer to the question? Do you have any guess? Okay, should I call other participants here? We have, is Patricia here? Patricia is not here. What about Torres? Yes, Torres. What is your answer about this question? I will run through, I will let you see the experiment number 2 so that you can identify the correct answer among the choices. Okay, so we have here the experiment number 2. The experiment number 2 is here. Try to look at it. You have it here. So in each trials, we have here 4 trials and having different temperature. So we can see here that in the question, it is given, what if a 450 ml? So Angela, I'm sorry, Miss Angela. Um, Natalia. Natalia.
I don't think Natalia is here. She just left the meeting, I think. She was here a while ago.
Thank you, Miss An. Yeah, thank you, Angela. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Johansson is still here, right? Okay. So since I'll just reveal the answer to you if you don't have any guess, but I will give you a minute. Okay, I'll give you a minute. I would love to see your answer on the chat box. You can write your answer in here. We have the choices is, it is less than 25 degrees Celsius, between 25 degrees Celsius, that is letter J, and 45 degrees Celsius. For letter H is between 45 and 60 degrees Celsius. And the last one is greater than 60 degrees Celsius. So what would be your answer? You can write it on the chat box. You can write either F, G, H, or J. Or if anyone here wants to answer, you can raise your hand. I see some of your classmates are having trouble with their connection. I understand. Johansson, what would be your answer?
Yes, ma'am. I choose
Yes, what would
G.
be your answer?
I choose option G.
Option letter D, and that would be the last option because we don't have
Uh,
any letter D here. Is it greater than 60, Johansson?
yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why is it that you choose letter the greater than 60 degrees Celsius? Can you tell us what is the reason why you answer greater than 60 degrees Celsius? Okay, I think Johansson is still figuring out. Okay, so anyway, let us try to look at here the experiment number 2. So in experiment number 2, we have your 4 trials. Yes, it is 1, 2, 3, and 4 trials. So the last trials was 476 ml volume of a liquid with the temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. Now the question here is, what if um, another trial would be added? So that would be trial number 9, right? Number 9. And that number 9 would be 450 ml according to the question given. So let us write here the 450 ml. Okay, 450 ml. 450. Now, the question is that um, how much would be or what will be the temperature of the diet cola having this 450 ml. Now, as you can see here, the temperature of the trial from 5 to 8, is it increasing or decreasing? Taurus. Or let's just have Johansson. Is it increasing or decreasing? Since you have already given your answer. Johansson,
Yes,
was
ma'am.
our temperature in the table 2 increasing or decreasing?
Mm,
Yes,
Decreasing.
Johansson. Come again, Johansson.
Yeah, decreasing,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry.
It's be
Oh,
decreasing,
it's
ma'am.
decreasing. It is decreasing according to Johansson. The temperature is decreasing or is it increasing really? So try to look at the temperature here. So from 10, it become 25, it become 45, it becomes 60. So again, Johnson.
Increasing, ma'am. Sorry, I wrong.
Okay, very good.
Oh,
So it is increasing. It's okay. So our temperature here is increasing. So increasing. Let us put an arrow to indicate that temperature is increasing. Okay. Now, what about the volume of liquid in the cylinder? Johansson, let us continue this since you answer, you're the one who give the answer. Is it increasing or decreasing?
decreasing, ma'am.
Okay, very good observation, Johansson. So therefore, what would be, as you can see here, it is the ml, the volume is decreasing and the temperature is increasing. Now we have here, we added here the ninth trial having the 450 ml. So what do you think would be the temperature? So basically, and it is very evident that temperature is greater than 60, right? Do you agree with me, class? Johansson, do you agree? We can either put here 62 or 65, since we have says that as the volume decreases, the temperature increasing. So Johansson's answer is correct. So very good, Johansson. So the answer for this is letter J. It is greater than 60. Okay, am I understood, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Johansson. Let's erase this first, right? Okay, let us proceed to question number 9. I would like to call a person to read the question number 9. Okay, number 9. Can we have here Stefanus? Can you read number 9, the question?
Okay,
Okay.
number 9.
Yes, number 9.
Suppose the trial 6 had suppose the trial 6 had been repeated, but the bottle of diet cola has been opened and then left undisturbed undisturbed at 25 Celsius for 12 hours before it was attached to the apparatus. Will be mass of CO2 produced in trial likely be greater than 0.969 grams or less than 0.969 grams.
Okay, thank you, Stefanus. Now, what about Torres? Can you read the choices? I would really love to hear your voice. Yes, Torres. Or Reynold. Reynold, can you read us uh the the choices?
What?
Can you read us the choices, please?
Oh, okay. Grade A, grades because over the 20 hours of concentration of CO2 in diet cola will be the greatest. B, grades of over 12 hours of concentration of CO2 in diet cola will have it greatest. Please, apa? Wait, ma'am.
It's okay. Okay.
Apa? Okay, let me continue.
Okay.
Where is it? C.
It's
Least.
letter C.
This because over the 12 hours of concentration of CO2 in the diet cola will have degrees. This because over 12 hours the concentration of CO2 in diet cola will have degrees.
Okay. Thank you.
Done.
Thank you. So
Okay,
what would
ma'am.
be our answer to this question? If suppose trial number 6 had been repeated, but the bottle of Diet Cola had been opened and then left undisturbed at 25 degrees Celsius for 12 hours before it was attached to the apparatus, would the mass of carbon dioxide, CO2, produced in this trial likely be greater than 0.969 grams or less than 0.969 grams? Okay, anyone who can share their answer? You can raise your hand if you have an answer. I think for today, I have all boys here in the class. Or am I wrong? There might be some girls also here. Okay, so what would be your answer? Let's have again Torres. Torres, what is your answer to this? Okay, so let me just give you the answer, okay? So let me try to ask first to Stevanos. Have you experienced opening a bottle of cola or specifically, let's just say, a bottle of Coke? Stevanos, have you ever tried opening a bottle of Coke? Or Johansen, have you tried opening a bottle of cola? The one that the one that we usually drink, and it can be bought in the supermarket. You also
Yes,
have that
ma'am.
Coca-Cola. Okay, so have you ever tried opening it? Now, if you've tried opening it, what have you observed? Every time you twist the bottle, what happened when you try to twist the bottle, Johansen? When you try to twist the bottle, Johansson, can you hear any sound or just mainly nothing, Johansson? Or let me just try to ask Miss Angela, since I know probably Miss Angela also had tried to open a bottle of cola. Miss Angela, can you share to us if you try to open a bottle of cola, what have you experienced? Is there something happen or what normally happens when you try to open it?
I think when I open the bottle of cola, it just like have this fish like sound kind of. Yeah, it's kind of like have this gas.
Okay, thank you, Miss Angela. So I think everyone would agree that every time we open a bottle of cola, we hear a sound like something like that, right? So that indicates that when you open a bottle of cola, a type of gas basically escape by just twisting the cap of the cola. And with it comes or in related to the question to number 9, it says here that um but the supposed trial 6 had been repeated, but a bottle of Diet Cola had been opened and then left understored at 25 degrees Celsius for 12 hours before it was attached to the apparatus. Would the mass of carbon dioxide produced in this trial likely be greater than 0.969 grams or less than 0.969 grams? We have here the choices. Lay back the choices. A, greater, because over the 12 hours, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the Diet Cola would have decreased. B, greater, because over the 12 hours, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the Diet Cola would have increased. And letter C, less, because over the 12 hours, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the Diet Cola would have decreased. And D, less, because over the 12 hours, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the Diet Cola would have increased. What would be your answer, Stebanos? Let us relate it to the one that we have given example, the one that Miss Angela shared to you. So your answer might be, Stebanos.
Shilan. Don't know.
You have any guess?
Have no idea. Shilan.
Okay. What about Rinaldi? What would be your answer? Or for those who cannot speak, you can also write your answer in the chat box. It would be nice for me to read it also. Johansen,
Yes, ma'am.
what would be your answer?
My answer is option C, ma'am.
Very good, Johansen. That is correct. Because as what I have said, that even just in a second, when we try to twist a bottle of cola, it creates a sound. And that sound indicates that the gas has been escaping. So therefore, the amount of gas that is present inside that bottle cola is decreasing. So how much more if the gas here, the gas here will stay for 25 degrees Celsius and left open, and it was left open in 12 hours. So basically, it will most likely less because over the 12 hours, the concentration in the Diet Cola would have decreased. So that is correct, Johansen. Very good, Johansen. Thank you for that. Okay, am I understood with that, class? Is it clear to you? You can give me a thumbs up if we are going to proceed to the next question. You can click a thumbs up, everyone. Okay, thank you, Miss Angela. Let us proceed to question number 10. Okay, for number 10, let me read it to you this time. 1 millimole, m-mole of carbon dioxide has a mass of 0.044 grams. How many trials resulted in the production of at least 1 millimole of carbon dioxide. So the choices are F1, G4, H5, G8. Okay, so the trials that been being asked here is on the experiment 1 and 2. So let us see if how much or how many trials is resulted to produce a 0.044 grams of carbon dioxide. Okay. Is it 1, 4, 5, or 8? So we have here 8 trials, right? 8 trials. Okay. So in each trials, it is indicated on the last column the number of carbon dioxide produced in a gram. So supposing that a 1 millimole of carbon dioxide is a gram of 0.044 grams. So how many trials had produced that 0.044 grams? Here, is it 1 only? Is it 4 trials only? Is it 5 trials only? Or is it the 8 trials? What is your answer? Let's have Stabanus, what is your answer? Yes, Stabanus.
I don't know nothing about it.
Hmm. Can you just give a guess of how many trials?
It's just my weakness. I cannot do shit.
Hmm.
Cannot do nothing about it. In school,
I
just
see.
low score. You see.
Mm-hmm. You just need to look at the data in order for you to get the correct answer. Okay. Now, anyone here has an answer? You can raise your hand. If you want to answer, you can write in the chat box. If you are shy to let's say to voice out your answer, I can read it if you like. I just saw Patricia who get entered. Yeah, Patricia is here now. Hello, Patricia. Good afternoon. It was Natalia. Natalia able to come back. Maybe there was really had a problem in her connection. Okay. So let's have Taurus. Do you have any guess? How many trials here had produced is 0.044 grams of carbon dioxide? The choices are A, 1 only. Trial number 1 only produced 0.044 grams. And letter J is 4. Only these 4 trials produces 0.044. And last one is 8. All the trials produces 0.044. Taurus. Oh, I think Taurus is very shy. Well, then let me try again to call Johansen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Johansen, what do you think would be the number of trials that have produced 0.044?
Maybe the 8th trial, ma'am.
Very good again, Johansen. You really have a good observation and you can really understand the data here. It is correct because as what was stated on the question that 1 millimole of carbon dioxide has a mass of, let's write it so that you can, okay. Okay. One, oopsie, 1 mole of CO2 or carbon dioxide is equal to 0 point 0.44 grams. Okay. Here. So we have it here. So it says that a 1 millimole of carbon dioxide has a mass of 0.044 grams. Let us include the unit because that is very important. Sorry, grams. Okay, there you have it. So as you can see here, Stefanus, that each trials has produces more than 0.044 grams. So therefore, it is correct that the 8 trials had produced 1 millimole of carbon dioxide. Do you get it, class? Am I understood? Stefanus?
Shilam,
Patricia?
that means I don't know anything about it.
So Patricia? Oh, I think Patricia is... Yes, Johansson?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it is correct. Johansson is right that the answer for number 10 is letter J or 8 trials because all the 8 trials had produces a 0.044 grams or 1 millimole of carbon dioxide. Okay, let us erase this. I hope it's clear to you. Now let's have question number 11. 11. I can see Natalia now. Natalia, welcome back.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome back. Now I want you to read question number 11.
Okay, ma'am. According to figure 1, which of tube A and tube B, if either, had at least one end submerged in a liquid before the clamp was removed?
Okay, thank you, Natalia. I just read the choices. For A, tube A only, B, tube B only, C, both A and D, neither tube A or nor tube B. So the question here is that uh, which of the tube A or B, if either, had at least one end submerged? Okay, let us go back to the figure and try to look at the figure if which of the trials, what was that are you showing, Natalia?
It's my homework, ma'am. I'm showing you
I
this is
see.
my homework.
Okay, let us go back to the figure. And I want you, Natalia, to figure out what is the answer to that question. Okay. All right, then. So we have here the figure A. Oops. Lost my Wait a minute. Okay. Here. Okay, here. So figure 1, we have here the bottle. The bottle. Here is a bottle. First thing we can see here is the clamp. We see here the clamp, right? This is the clamp. Now we have here the bottle, and this one is the substance. And we have here tube A, tube B. And we have here the jar in the center. The jar is in the center, and the graduated cylinder is on the other side. Now the question here, which of the tube A and tube B, if neither, has at least one end submerged? So you have to look at the tubes. If which among these two tubes has at least submerged into the liquid? What would be your answer, Natalia?
My answer would be tube B only, because as we can see there, it has, yeah, it's submerged in the water, while tube A is not in the water yet. Wait, water, okay, liquid.
Okay, very good, Natalia. Good observation. That is correct. Only to B. So it is very evident in the figure that only to B, the other tube of the tube B is really submerged into the jar, while the two tubes or the tube A is not even touching the liquid of the jar, and it is just only on the cap of the bottle. So the answer is to B. Very good, Natalia. Okay, thank you for that, Natalia. Let us proceed now to the next question. Our next question is number 12. Here. Number 12. Let me read. Is the relationship between the volume of liquid in the cylinder at the end of the experiment and the mass of carbon dioxide produced a direct relationship or an inverse relationship? So it talks about the volume of liquid and the number of carbon dioxide produced, whether the relationship is direct, proportional to each other, or inversely proportional, or it is not that, let's say, let's choose the simple term for that, not equal, while the direct says equal. Okay, now we have here the choices. F, it is direct. As the volume of liquid that was measured in the cylinder increased, the mass of carbon dioxide produced increased. Letter B, direct. As the volume of liquid that was measured and the cylinder increased, the mass of the carbon dioxide produced decreased. H, inverse. As the volume of liquid that was measured and the cylinder increased, the mass of carbon dioxide produced increased. Letter J, inverse. As the volume of liquid that was measured in the cylinder increased, the mass of carbon dioxide produced is decreased. So what would be our answer to this? Can you write your answer to the chat box so I can see and differentiate? And also, if I can see that you are listening to me. Torres and Rinalde, you can write your answer here in the chat box. You can choose either F, G, H, J. So you have to remember that the one that is being asked here is the relationship between the number of volume and the amount produced of carbon dioxide. Natalia says it's letter J. She thinks that it is inverse as the volume liquid that was measured in the cylinder increase, the mass of carbon dioxide produced decrease. What about the other? Johansen, what is your answer?
Maybe my answer is option G, inverse, as the volume the liquid must measure in cylinder decrease, the mass of CO2 produced decrease. G.
Letter G, the second
Yeah,
option, Johansen. Am I correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Johansen's answer is this J, and Natalia is J. So what about the others here? Patricia is also the same answer with Johansen. Thank you, Patricia. With the question mark, Patricia. It's okay. Oh, I must not take more time because I think it's already time for us. Well, then I will just give you a quick answer to this question. So the correct answer here, class, is letter F. Why F? It is direct. As the volume of liquid was measured in the cylinder increase, the mass of carbon dioxide produced also increase. Now let us see why the answer is letter F. Okay, let us look at the table at the top, the experiment. I understood that Natalia might have not seen this since she was gone for a minute because of her connection. We lost her connection. We lost Natalia a while ago. Okay, so as you can see here, Natalia, look at it. The number of volume is it increasing or decreasing? Natalia.
Oh, it's increasing.
Uh-huh. It is increasing. Okay, it is increasing. What about the number of carbon dioxide produced? Is it increasing, decreasing? Natalia.
It's it's increasing.
Yeah, so therefore, it is direct relationship. So as the number of volume increase, the number of carbon dioxide produced is also increasing. I hope you get it since in my clock, it's already 4:32 p.m. in Philippine time. In Malaysian, Indonesian time, I guess it's already 4:30 also. Am I correct, Natalia?
Here it's 3:30. We're 1 hour slower.
Yeah, okay. So it's 3:30, so it's already time. So I hope that you've learned something today, and I understood that some of you is having trouble with the connection, same as I a while ago because it was raining, but I hope you gained something today, and I hope you enjoy our lesson for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you again in our next meeting. Thank you so much. Natalia Johansen, Torres, Rinalde Patricia, and Stevanos. Thank you.